Hey, welcome to another Valley Forged. I know I've been off for like a week or so. I was waiting for this laser. This is me for the past few days. I just been so excited because I knew it was coming and I couldn't wait to share it. And then I look at the price. $1,250 right now. Listen, I'm going to do a video. I'm going to show you all about this laser, but why I'm doing it, just buy it. Now, Atezr didn't pay me anything to say that. They actually didn't ask anything of me. They just sent this laser. Now, of course, I have been recommending the Atezr in all of my videos, even though I have never had one and they have never sent me anything. But, you know, I trust Clack Shack. I trust Louisiana Hobby Guy. And I knew for what I wanted to do and for what most people do, that they were just the best laser out there right now, as far as diode lasers go, for the price. And this is $1,250 on sale right now. That's the L2 36-watt laser engraver for $1,250. Absolutely steal, in my opinion. And I think if you get it straight through the site, you don't pay tax. So I mean, I think this is a good laser for $1,600, but for $1,250, I think it's almost a no-brainer. And I'm about to show you why. So let's get into everything about that. As I said, I begged to get this L2. I wanted to have it first so that I could make just videos for a whole month on every single thing about it from beginning to end. And then I saw Clack Shack got the 24 watt like a few weeks ago. Actually, I think he's had it for a while. And I was depressed because I didn't get one. And I was so excited for him. And then I watched his video a couple weeks ago and he's like, oh, well, I would really like to try the 36 watt. And here I get the 36 watt. So I'm still jealous you got it first. And we're able to try that out. But I do recommend you go watch his video on the 24 watt after this one as well. I think, you know, once you get to know, the machines aren't that different, and we're going to talk about that here. Again, Atezr has asked me nothing. I'm going to put links in the description, you know, to go buy it, but I don't get anything for that. And again, they didn't even suggest I do anything or say anything. They just sent it to me, which is, I think, really the way it should be done, you know? So I'm just going to tell it like it is, and hopefully, I mean, they make a good machine, so why should they care, right? Now, is everything perfect? No. And we're going to get into that. And I think a lot of the issues people are having are the same exact issues, which is heartening because they're easily fixable for one. And, you know, you can watch videos to fix them and get it done really easily. And you can even be prepared for it and, you know what to look for. So I'm going to get into that real quick. I'm going to be doing a full month of videos on this, everything you could possibly want to know about it. So like, subscribe, and all that kind of stuff. And also leave me a comment. Let me know what kind of things that you want to know about it. I'm going to cover some of that in this video. This is not going to be an installation or unboxing video, although I will link to that and show you how I figured out how to put this together, because there's really not a lot of information out there right now. And of course there is a manual, but you know, I'm not really into paper manuals, to be honest. And it wasn't perfectly clear. There was a few things omitted in that. So what I did is I went to a few videos. First of all, they didn't say I couldn't say it, you know, that the IKEA K1 is K1 Pro, K1 Ultra, would be the Ultra, is really just the same thing, 95% of it anyway. There are some differences, which I love that Atezr did, and were actually a deal breaker for me on the K1 Ultra. But I'm sure they're both wonderful, and if you had either one, you'd be fine. I just prefer Atezr. as IKEA is actually atom stack, and if you watch my older videos, you know how well it went with me with the atom stack, but I'm sure this one is wonderful because it's the same type of machine. They'll have a lot of the same type of problems. So if you have issues, you might be able to look that up, watching, you know, I mean, obviously I put this together using this video, which I'll link in the description so that you can follow along. And it worked. It was great. One thing that I think is an opportunity, and I had this on one of my other lasers too, is, you know, you have this rod that you need to insert and push through that goes to the motor. Let's see if I can find that. This freaking rod right here. Now, he doesn't show you how he takes the cellophane off of this freaking thing. It takes me half as long to get the cellophane off of this rod than it does to actually build the machine. I think I had the whole thing built in about an hour and a half, and it would have been way shorter. First of all, about the cellophane, and it's just, I don't understand that part. Why does it need to be so covered? Nitpick, of course. And that's kind of not a real nitpick. Doesn't have nothing to do with the performance of the machine. And the other thing about this rod is they tell you, you put it through a hole in the side of the machine, and it's supposed to go, watch how they do it. Oh, it just slips right through. Well, that's not the case with mine. And I believe I saw this on another video as well. It wouldn't just go through because there's a couple of lock bolts that hold it, you can see right here, that hold it down, right? Now, it's supposed to be, those things are supposed to be loose enough to where the rod will go through, and then you just tighten it down on the rod. Well, I guess they turned these in too much, so the rod would not go through. Now, once this thing is built, you have to be very careful because you could do what I did. If you're trying to loosen these so that you can get that rod through, I loosened it too much, and of course, the bolt fell out. So now it's in here in the machine. I got to be able to get it. I ended up taking it apart again and putting it back together, something I detest doing. I don't like taking apart a machine once I'm putting it together because there are 4 bolts on each side. So anyways, I was slightly annoyed with that. But that may just be, I just wanted you to tell you because that may happen to you. So what I would do is I would go ahead and just push that rod through first to check before you even start building it. Just take the rod out, get the stinking cellophane off of the thing, and then and stick the rod through and make sure that those are loose enough before you even put it together. So I'm spending a lot of time on that. Just because there were so few things that went wrong, I just want everybody to be very clear on how to put it together and not have any of the issues that I had. Another thing that seems to be common on both the IKEA and the Atezr is the Z-axis is a little bit loose. And that's this rod right here that he's pointing to. And if I was to move the module, it shakes just a tiny little bit. Now, I don't know how at quality control this got missed, because if he had the same problem as I did, there's a good chance that this is happening on a lot of the machines. So it is the easiest fix you could possibly imagine. I'm going to link this in the description so you can get the full tutorial, just in case it's a little more in-depth to fix than mine is. I just basically, it's a screw at the bottom of that post, and you screw those things in, and it was fine, and it's perfect, and it's super solid. But it's just odd to me that that would come loose on such an important, expensive machine. So opportunity there. But that was really the end of my problems in putting this together and getting it going. So bravo, really. I mean, what a badass machine. It's so freaking fun. And this isn't just like a hobby for me. I do this as a business, and it instantly changed my world. I'm actually in the middle of an order. I mean, here's like, I did altogether 320 coasters for Stanford, and they needed to be done soon. And I have a 10 watt and I have a 20 watt, but the problem is I couldn't go any faster with the 20 watt because anything over 6,000 millimeters per minute, the thing would kind of, I love it's my longer Ray 20. I love it. It was a workhorse. It made so much stuff for me. But the way that it's made really wasn't made to go over 6,000 millimeters per minute, or you would start getting a little wobble in the thing. So I couldn't really make it any faster than 6,000 millimeters per minute. So each 4 coasters took me a little over an hour and 6 minutes. Now, Longer has actually just come out with a newer laser that is going to fix that, but I'm in the middle of a job now. So I'm so glad this thing came in because I had probably about 40 more to make. And if you do the math, that was going to take me some hours. So the first thing I didn't even mess around. I turned the autofocus off because really, I just don't want to deal with that right now. I turned on the machine. I realized, okay, the cable is like 4 feet long and it's either USB or USB-C. It's nice that you have that option, but pretty much every other laser uses a printer type USB. So I had an extended cable for that already that I bought specifically for testing lasers, and I can't use that. So fortunately for me, I had a female to male USB that I could hook up to my USB-C, and that actually worked fine. But I just wanted to let you know, if you order this laser and your computer is more than 4 feet away from the laser, you're going to need an extension. You're going to need a way to do that. So you can go ahead and order that. And so, I mean, when you get a laser, you want to use it right then, right? Once you put it together, you don't want to be going out having to order a cable or go buy a cable. So just to finish that up though, I am able to run this at so much faster speeds and get a deeper engrave, and they come out better right out of the gate. And, I was blown away by how fast and clean these came out. I was able to do them, and I didn't even do settings. I literally just kind of doubled everything and just threw it in there. Instead of doing 2 passes with the 10 watt, I did 1 pass at a higher speed. Worked right away. Actually got a little too deep of an engrave to start with, but I just needed to get it done, and they still looked great. But I want them to be kind of consistent. So I was able to cut that speed instantly down to 30 minutes for every 4 of them instead of a minute, 1 hour and 6 minutes. And they looked better and they had less cleanup. So that was a huge win for me because, again, I don't just have a YouTube channel. I love teaching people how to start their own business is what I'm really trying to do. And that's something this laser, I can already tell, is so amazing at, is just being able to do some light production work. And it's built, the system, we're going to go through this in other videos, but the way that it's built more for this type of production environment. And you can actually increase the speeds because you have enough power. That's the nice thing about this 36 watt. A lot of times they'll say, oh, they can go 50,000 millimeters per minute. But if you were to run it that fast, the engraving would be so light that it would be completely unusable. And even with this one at 50,000 millimeters per minute, it's supposed to go up to 54. I just ran it at 50,000 just so I could do it right off the bat. It looks good, but it's not very deep. So really, if you got anything less than a 36 watt, you're really not going to get much out of it. In fact, this particular one I ran at 50,000 millimeters per minute, 100% speed, but the line I ran at 20,000 millimeters per minute and 100% speed. I figured that was a good middle ground to be able to get some definition, but also be able to run it at 50,000 millimeters per minute and get a decent looking coaster, which I did. And would I feel good about like selling this though? Probably not. It's just not quite deep enough. So maybe at 40,000 millimeters per minute, you can get something that looks, you know, decent. And honestly, once you get above 20,000 millimeters per minute, I'm not seeing a huge change in the amount of time that it's taking. I'm getting from like 8 minutes down to 7 minutes or something, because there's other factors that go into how fast it can actually go, especially on something small like this. But I am pretty impressed that at least you can do that. And this is really the first laser, and you can do it, and you don't see a bunch of weird squiggly lines. I mean, it did it just fine. And it still looks just as good as the one I did slower, just not as deep. And that's pretty cool. I mean, the rest of the lasers I've ever tried that said they can go really fast, I mean, they can, but it looked terrible. So things that I really love about this laser, first and foremost, is the eye cover, and they don't have that on the Atezr, and that's the first thing that I told you is there was a deal breaker. That for me is the eye shield. It's just not usable on most of the machines, even the old Atezr. I really didn't like it. I'm sure I would have taken it off. So this one is much better. I'm really loving that. There are a few differences that I've noticed, but that is the main one that I've noticed so far between the two machines. There's so much more to get into. I'm not going to, talk all day about this because frankly, I've got a present to make today, and I'm going to make it on this machine. So maybe I'll be showing that in the next video or whatever, but wow. I say what I said right away. Just go buy this for the price. It is so much power and usefulness for what you're going to pay. It's unreal. Now, I'm going to get every accessory for this, and I'll be using it as my main machine. So we can go over all of those things, and I will be doing actual jobs with it to show you how it actually works in the real world. And we'll get into all the little, bells and whistles at some point. But overall, no reason not to buy this machine. I can't think of a better one on the market by even something close. I mean, I guess the Atezr is 98. I mean, for some people, just depending on how you care about the eye cover. But, whatever you get, this is just an amazing laser for the price. And yeah, let's have some fun getting more into it. So I'll see you in the next one. Love y'all.